The best and easiest way to actually define who Infoblox is to tie it to what we really do. Infoblox is the leader of a new segment in the industry called next level networking. So we all know what networking is. So what's next level networking? And it has something to do with really the transformation that we're going with, through in the industry. And it's all about this digital transformation. When you take a look, the past 2 decades, we've kind of built networks in a very, very defined manner. When you fast forward to today, organizations, to cope with digital, they're building networks with concepts like, SaaS and multi-cloud and SD-WAN and IoT, and taking advantage of some of the innovations, mobility that 4G and 5G has brought, and building networks to consume and serve organizations using these concepts is very different. It's not just about the intelligence and reliability, but it's also how you secure these networks. Infoblox is the leader and one of the top innovators in this segment. So Bloxone Threat Defense is the Infoblox security architecture for the digital enterprise. We've actually going through a paradigm shift with digital transformation. So the old day of having actually a tightly integrated network that's pretty much secured at the data center is dissolving, because unfortunately or fortunately, concepts like multi-cloud, SaaS, and SD-WAN are fundamentally changing the architecture and the makeup of the enterprise, and that perimeter, so-called, that we've kind of gotten used to for the past 2 decades is dissolving. We are the first thing that a user or a device has to do. Think about it. When a device plugs into a network, the very first thing it has to do is a DNS query. Before there's HTTP, before there's an application, before there's an authentication, there's DNS. And through that DNS query, we can know a lot about the user, and we can actually know about who they are, what device they're using, what operating system, what location they are, what application. And using all of this context provides security. There's nothing, correct? Even if you want to do WhatsApp, even if you want to do kind of some type of social media calling, if you want to buy something, the role you play as a father, the role that you play as a mother, the role that you play as a brother or a sister, a worker, all pretty much kind of centers around you using IT technology. And by the way, the underlying foundation for connectivity, contextual connectivity, and how we relate to each other and how we use applications, all DNS. So it's foundational. Hackers actually have gotten hold of that, and they understand that DNS is so foundational, it is trusted by every networking and security device. UDP53, the protocol that DNS runs on, is by default allowed everywhere. And here lies the dilemma that Infoblox has solved. How do you secure yourself against something that is inherently trusted and you can't do anything about it, right? And Infoblox came back and restored that trust by securing it and mitigating it and in fact de-weaponizing it and re-weaponizing it for the good. We have to fundamentally change our mindset. Long gone are the days by which we fundamentally approach networking and security just like we've been doing in the past 2 decades. Digital transformation is real. It's happening at a very fast pace, at a pace that's never been seen before. It's changing everything we're comfortable with. It's fundamentally, bringing about new business models. It's changing the way organizations procure and consume technologies. And perhaps one of the biggest things here is how we build secure networks for the digital world. And with that said, DNS can't be an afterthought. And concepts or technologies, and mantras like SOAR, security orchestration, and automated response becomes really important of how you take siloed layers and bring them all together for a common defense. Infoblox is a major enabler in that. And at the end of the day, just dare to entertain a very different approach to networking and security. It is really what's needed to propel your enterprise moving forward.